Charles Rangel quotes, I, for one, would think both of to say how far we have come as a country and also how much further we need to go to be able to erase racism and discrimination from our society. Charles Rangel was on the Democratic, and he was part of the seat for 46 years. Very distinctive man. Very distinctive man. Um, had a personality, and and he was human. He made mistakes and what have you, but he was also very opinionated. And again, that comes with the territory. Some things you justify, some you don't. But he was a cat that he always reminded me of a family member. He really did, on both sides of my family. You know, but he was a distinctive cat, and I always listened to what he had to say. And I forgot, kind of almost had, was thinking about him, and he had passed, middle of last year. But just thinking about him and what he meant, and he was a guy that definitely understood the tension, the friction, so on and so forth in the society. So, you know, but anyway, his quote. Let's talk about his quote. You heard this said so many times before. It's like one of the biggest caps that you ever hear. We've come so far, but we got so far to go. Well, really, that basically says in a nutshell, we haven't come at all. Because if you say all the way up and then you're all the way down, you're stuck in between. What have you done? You're just stuck in a merry-go-round. So I think that I understood what he was saying. There's certain things that don't happen anymore, but then there are other things that are escalated because of said things. So it's one of those situations where you just hope it makes some sense, though. But he had a very strong presence. He definitely was somebody that you knew that um, he wasn't going to back down, and he was somebody that was going to definitely give his opinion about thoughts and takes. It's again, it's one of those situations where you are just kind of like uh, in awe of what has happened, because of the magnitude and the depth, and that's what he was about. He wasn't afraid to, again, to go there, to talk about things and to be about things. You had to have that kind of personality. You had to have that kind of charisma, and that's what made him, as great as he was at what he did to do in so long. Because the people got to understand there is no lifetime pass. You either bring the goods or you don't. So that's one thing I'll say about him. Now, he stayed on all the way to 2017. He had gotten impeached and he had gotten in trouble, but he was able to still work his job. And like I said, no one's perfect. Politicians always into something, but he was honest about what he was, though. He made no bones about it, and then eventually, and I think he should still be remembered for his impact. Fiery Harlem man who had strong impact, strong work ethics, and he wanted to see certain things a certain way. So, you know, and that's how I kind of choose to remember him. So, I like the quote. I've heard it said before. Sometimes I'm kind of at a loss for words because when people say it, it's like, well, what are you really trying to say? You're either progressive or you ain't, But anyway, it's a very powerful statement. But anyway, let me know what you think about it. Please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments. And I do respond, thank you. Wash your hands, keep your mind clear, watch out for another. And we're going to definitely keep it going. Peace, be safe, be careful, be well. And this was a good topic because it made me think of him. All right, I'm out. Peace.